Hey, hey, hey! How are we doing today? So today we're gonna paint up. Oh, hey, Jacob! Yeah, so today is gonna be pretty special. Let me just show you guys. Santi, yeah, of course. Hey, it's good to have you here, bud. So today is gonna be pretty special. We're gonna be painting up this huge bass swim bait. And we already have this one on the site. This is nothing new. But this one, I'm showing you guys this one for the first time. This is something that I'm pretty excited about. It's a trout swim bait. Yeah, this is gonna be crazy cool. So this trout, this bait is called Nemo because, like, some of you know that fish in the wild sometimes are born with just one fin, one dorsal fin here, and those are particularly vulnerable to predators. So you see this nice fin here, and we have this itty bitty. So this is why he's called Nemo. So yeah, we're gonna paint up these two baits. These are part of the hyper realism lineup, and we will try to do this as realistic as we can. Fingers locked. I mean, with the trout, we're gonna have to do a whole bunch of hand painting. You know, dotting, because that's gonna be a rainbow trout pattern. So we will see how it goes. But as always, we start with the black wash. So how are you guys doing this fine Saturday? Is everyone good? Jeez, my back is still killing me. Okay, let's just move it a bit more, so you guys can see the baits as well. Yeah, luckily I could get out fishing this weekend, and presumably it's gonna be a bit better in the upcoming weekend. I don't know, fingers crossed. Like, I couldn't wait for pre-spawn. And luckily with these baits I can do some serious damage. Okay, this is good enough. So let's just get a couple of wipers and we are ready to go. As always, we start with this black wash to exaggerate the scales and the facial details and basically every single detail that we can. And wipe. Okay, this bait is gonna be a bit darker. And that's fine, that's how we like it. Okay. This side looks nice. Let's quickly do the other one. Before my airbrush changes its mind. Luckily it's been good lately. Ugh. Yeah, this one is already looking nice. It's ready for some green. That's gonna be a largemouth bass. So we will go in heavy with some Cali green, maybe some forest green, and some funky colors. Okay. And wipe. Yeah. You see, these are some really nice scale details already. So how have you been, guys? Has any one of you gone fishing this nice weekend? I mean, it's getting ready for pre-spawn. Okay, this segment is nice. And let's just finish up the tail. Yeah, this winter is kinda killing the vibe. No, it's just way too cold. And now for the exciting stuff. I never ever did this bait. So guys, keep your fingers crossed so we get some nice pattern here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, face looks nice. Oh, the scales are nice as well. Oh yeah. The scales look mighty fine. That's really cool. So this is gonna be a rainbow trout. This is gonna be a rainbow trout, and this is my first time painting this bait. So if I fuck it up, you guys get to witness it. But you know, I painted more than enough rainbow trouts in my time, so I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But so far, the scale patterns are looking nice. This is gonna be mostly green as well, but we have to play with the green shades a bit. It was a big game changer when I started doing this black wash technique. I don't know how or when I found it, but it has seriously elevated my baits. Yeah, but luckily this bait is taking it well as well, just like the bass, because I know that the bass and the sunfish, those baits are taking the black wash pretty. Oh yeah, this is awesome. You see these irregular patterns? Hey Roger! Yeah, so luckily this bait is taking it well. I was kind of afraid because, like, obviously the bass will take the black wash well because it has huge scales everywhere, but the trout scales are just so finicky. It already has the brush tail in. Okay. Let's try not to fuck this up. So far, it's so good. Okay. So yeah, trout has such tiny scales. And when I made this bait, I wasn't sure whether this is gonna actually take the black wash nicely, but as you guys can see, it's looking really decent. Okay, so cleanup time. Let's just show these a bit more. Yeah, you see the difference? We have the bass and we have the rainbow trout right next to each other. So next we're gonna go, I'm thinking, yeah, let's just fuck it, let's just do the baits in order, because first I wanted to, like, I wanted to conserve my time and paint them side by side, but that's no fun, at least for you guys. For me it's more efficient, but yeah, so this is gonna be black bass or largemouth bass or bucket mouth, or you know, depends where you guys are living. But that's like, I think that's the biggest bait I've ever made. It's definitely decently sized. Just need to clean up the airbrush a little bit. So excuse the camera shakes. Those are not mandatory. It's just everything is in the way currently. But a little bit of cleaning. Go down. Okay. And we can go ahead with the Kelly green. This is one of my favorite colors. You can do so many different shades with this. It's all just airbrush control. And it's not masking the scale patterns actually. So, you know, it's the perfect thing for this kind of application. Okay. Bass time. See, it's a really nice green. Now we will lighten and darken this up with black. We just need these green undertones. But yeah, as you guys can see, the scale patterns still show really nicely. And this is what I always mess up, which one is the top, which one is the bottom. That's why I put the coconut thionize in already. Okay. Yeah, it's intended to be a largemouth, but I see your point. It could be a snook. Yeah, so I'm going in heavy at the top and just really light brush strokes near the bottom. Okay, so we are done with the green. At least that green, because we will go over this with a heavier deep forest green or arbor green and then black. We're gonna spend, yeah, each individual scale is here. This took me a couple of months to make. It's, you know, like, I have time and I like to make baits that are as close to perfection as they can be. Also, it's Leo T. Say hi. Hi. How are you, bud? Yeah, so now English ivy green. This is much darker, and we need this one to darken up the top without going in with black. Yeah, just a couple of brush strokes. Oh, ice jigs. That's awesome. I always wanted to do that because they look so much fun, but unfortunately I never got to. And also I live in Georgia, so you know, it is what it is. I don't know, I don't like when people say really good things about Georgia fishing, personally. Salty river fishing. Hi man, how are ya? Okay, and now English ivy. Custom glow ones. That's really cool. Wait, do you make soft plastics or hard baits? You see? You just darken it up. That sure we do. Georgia women are something else. So yeah, you see? Dirt bike, hey bud. So yeah, we just darkened it up. I don't know if it shows, that's why I haven't painted the back yet. But you see it was really light. And now it's much more naturalistic because I already went lighter, darker with the Kelly green. And now I have this, no, I have this English ivy green. Okay. Splurge Pigs, how are you, man? Yeah, we are basically going from lighter colors to darker colors just to not mess up the previous ones, because if I would have gone in with this Kelly green first, then it would have been really large salty water. This is largemouth bass, and this one is gonna be rainbow trout. Just trust the process. Funnily enough, both of them gonna look mighty fine only when actually black is applied. Alien green. Yeah, that's true. That is actually true. This is pretty close to alien green. Now, we will leave this one here because we will need this for the rainbow trout as well. Next color is gonna be pretty funny, but as I said, trust the process. It's gonna be, oh no, Actually, now we are going in with black, but I already spoiled the fun. We're gonna put in some... what's this? Fuchsia or... yeah, sparkling fuchsia. We're gonna need this. The coolest bait? Funny you ask, I think it's this one. But today we might challenge it. Like, okay. Now that a lot of you guys are here... oh, fuck me, this foam holder is stuck. Okay, just rip it open. Nope, just take the whole thing. So, I make baits like this. This is my red wake bait, one of my first rainbow trouts. A couple of wooden glides, a lot of wooden glides, and here's one of my favorite baits. This is yeah, was this a red bait? Yes, sir. A big old red bait. So this is a bluegill. This is actually the same bait that I'm painting right now, but this is obviously the smallmouth. This is what we are painting today, the largemouth bass. And we have a fancy bluegill. This is more like Louisiana bluegill. And here's the updated red wake bait. Big old mama. Yeah, so these are basically mostly the bait, most of them, and then we have a whole bunch of little American shad wake baits, like 100 of them, and I even make soft plastics. This is obviously a brown trout. Golden eye one, no. Do I make musky? No. Thanks, mate. Now, funnily enough, you asked me whether I make musky or not. I don't make musky baits, but I'm actually preparing for a YouTube video. And it's gonna be a musky. So that's coming up next week. Yeah, frogs. I actually made a whole bunch of frogs. I don't make them currently, but I have a special place in my heart for frogs. I like making them. We made a pretty cool frog. I don't think that I have anything here on stock. Fuck me, I'm always out of. So Anderson, hey. Yeah, frogs work amazingly here as well. Like, we are not that far apart. I live in Georgia, so frogs work. They work amazingly here as well. I love them, but I don't know. I feel like with this advent of big baits, people kind of forgot about frogs, even though I think they are one of the coolest baits and one of the most, like, there are certain situations where you can only catch fish with frogs. Like, especially here in the spring when they are up shallow and you really have to disturb them. Like, sometimes those glide baits are not enough. We're in Georgia. I'm next to Atlanta. I'm sounding Russian. Yeah, that's a fair misconception. I'm from Hungary. Which is funny because Hungarian is not even in the Slavic language group. But fair enough. Okay, so by the way, if you want to check out stuff, just ask it. Yeah, Leo T, obviously, I would be really interested in checking it out. Yeah, nobody expects that I'm Hungarian. I mean, we only have 9.5 million people in the whole country, which means that I'm actually commuting next to, like, around more people than my entire country. Okay, so with the black, so this is a largemouth bass. So with the black, we are just going in, like, randomly darkening it up and really darkening up the back. Like, you see, this is where black was applied. Yeah. Okay. Really light touches in the body, just where it's needed. Around the face is more black, and then the back is a lot more black. Okay. We're gonna do stuff with the belly as well, don't worry. Yeah, really old bass. That's true. Like, do I have a website? Yeah, it's actually handlures.com. Are these for musky? Well, if you guys want to check it out, or I don't know if you know the guy's Nospelt, Nathan has a whole video throwing this exact bait, and he caught like, I don't know, 8, 9 muskies in that video on this exact bait. So yeah, it's for musky mostly, but you know, you can catch bass as well with this. How long have I been doing this? Well, I think around a decade. Oh shit, what am I doing? We are not done. This is where the fun begins, because we gonna freehand this shit. Let me just frame this up nicely, because this is the part where everything comes together. You got to go. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, it was really great to have you here. Okay, and now the face. On the face they have these like 3-4 stripes going out. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like, I luckily know my airbrush. It's kind of fucked up, but at least I know how it's gonna react to shit. Okay, are there any more questions? This is a largemouth bass. Okay, we just have to line up the stripes. Okay. And a couple of beauty spots. Beauty stripes. Thanks, mate. Yeah, so if you've been blowing out with your airbrush, I don't think that it's actually your airbrush because, mate, I'm using the cheapest shit available. Like, I used a master airbrush for like, I don't know, 5 years at least. The only reason why I have this Eclipse is because a guy traded this one for a bait. But I don't think that it depends on your... Ah, shit. Okay. I don't think that it depends on your airbrush. Like, most of the times, and it's not you. That's not what I'm saying. It's the paint that you use. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so it's the paint that you use because how the fuck did this stand? Okay. Because whenever I use this paint, this blows out. It's ridiculously thick and it dries really fast and it blows out. But I use this. I think it was like $2.50 from Walmart. And this allows me this level of airbrush control. It's just far superior. Oh shit. Okay. Other face. So, you know, if you blow out with your airbrush, then I think it's actually your paint. Oh. Okay, now I have to clean the airbrush because Like, I started blowing out. It's nothing major. It still looks good, but it started to dry onto the needle. Okay, so let's try this again. Yeah, you see? Okay, how do I hold it so you guys can see it? Yeah, it's a really nice space. Now, it's just mostly random. That's what I always have to fix. Yeah. Or, you know, if you want to, you can check out my video about this, because I actually made a dedicated airbrushing video where I show guys how to airbrush really cheaply and, you know, with really good detail. Because you guys can't really see this, but this is basically my paint room. And this whole wall cost me like 60 bucks. Now this shit is like 8 bucks on its own, so that's why I'm not using paint from these big brands, because I'm a cheap ass and I can't really afford it. But I need the variety. Okay, let's see how they line up. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, and finally the tail. Okay. And now, what airbrush? Right now I'm using this Iwata Eclipse, but mostly I don't care. Like, my main airbrush is a master airbrush, and I keep using this name. For those of you who don't know, if you type into Amazon airbrush gun, then the first one that will come up is master, and it costs 30 bucks, I think. Maybe 50 if you opt for the version that has 3 different needles and 3 different nozzles. but you know, I use the cheap stuff. This Ivata that I'm using right now, this was traded to me for a bait, and I couldn't say no to an airbrush that costs upwards of $200. Okay, so now I realize that I fucked up because I forgot one of the main light colors that we wanted to do. Yeah, I don't think that, like, everyone's always masturbating over these airbrushes like they are something like that will solve all your problems. They are not. Airbrushes are tools, and if you know how to use them, then you can make this bait with an axe. It will just take a long fucking time. So, the reason why I messed up is because we always go from light colors to dark colors, but I actually didn't want to leave the belly white. I wanted to do champagne. So, hopefully we won't contaminate everything with the black that's in the airbrush. We will see, but champagne belly. And we will actually cheat a little bit and do the champagne on the trout as well, because this is just such a light color. It's really hard to clean up the airbrush so good that you don't mess it up with any other. Okay, so now the reason why this is really important is because most of the fish will see this bait from the bottom. So you can have this really nice looking pattern and everything, but if the bottom is unnaturalistic, then fish won't bite it. Okay. Damn. We need some damage control later. I touched the bait there. And there at the nose as well. But you see how much nicer it looks with this champagne? That looks like a furry fish on its side. Yeah, that's true. Oh, fuck. It's actually better that I dropped it. Because usually this is in the way. Okay. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. I wanted to do the trout belly with champagne. Yeah. I mean, you know, might not be YouTube friendly, but I'm friendly. Okay, we are just going really light with the champagne. We don't want to mess up that nice scale patterning. And finally, the tail. So yeah, this champagne really doesn't show up that much, but you see how bland the top is? And you see the shine? Yeah, the shine is what we are after. Are these for sale? We have a website where you can find the largemouth bass, but the trout is not up there yet. Okay, and now just get rid of this and wash it out, and the final touch with the yeah buddy, I'm using cheap acrylic paint. That's the idea. First of all, I'm a cheap ass. Second of all, these big brand names, these ones, like, they are way too expensive, they are really overpriced, and they don't do shit. But look at this, mate. Like, I can paint with any color I want. And also, I have access to metallic paint. I have access to color shifting paints. Yeah, you cannot do this with, you know, Wicked or Createx or whatever airbrush paints. Where am I located? I'm in Georgia. I'm in Georgia, but as you can tell, I'm not from the US, I'm from Hungary. So yeah, and also, like, I found out that there's virtually no benefit to using really expensive airbrush paint, because I finally solved the adhesion problem as well. Because most people say that, you know, like, airbrush paints have this special blend that can help it adhere better, but this shit is actually mixed up with Minwax polyacrylic. So the bait is actually, like, really solidly etched onto the bait. Okay, and now the final touch, which is, I knew I had metallic push open because, okay, so Georgia, yes, Georgia, the peach state, Georgia. So yeah, I know this is confusing because this doesn't look like anything that should be touching that bait, but believe me, it helps. It's, again, just a tiny little detail, and, like, most people wouldn't bother with it, but that's the, like, if you haven't seen a lot of lives with me, then that's the name of the game here. Things that people don't usually care about. That's what I do. So this is just coming here. Yeah, that's it. That's it, just a tiny bit. And now we will finish everything up with a little bit of top color. Again, one of the reasons why I really like using cheap acrylic paints, because I have access to really amazing craft paints, and I have options to play around with. Because there's a paint called Dragonfly Haze, something like that. Just give me a sec. I need to clean this up and then I will grab that immediately. Yeah, that was just a bit of blush. Like, these bass have this like pinkish hue around their mouth. You see, it's not really showing up. It's just a bit more realistic. Okay, so we will go in with this Dragonfly Glaze, I think. Or wait, that's a bit too rainbow colored. Oh shit. I have never tried this. Let's do this one. So these are basically like completely transparent. As you can see, it will come out like almost white. If it comes out, yeah, almost white. And it's almost completely transparent. Fucking hell. So, the reason why I like adding this, it doesn't add any color to the bait. It just helps with the shininess. I want my baits shiny as fuck. And this goes on the back. Okay, now let me show you guys why we put this on. You see that? It has these nice little glitter flakes all over. So the bait looks black and dull as fuck, but when light shines on it at a particular angle, yeah. Okay, so that bait is done, and now comes the main attraction, the rainbow trout. Now that's gonna be interesting because we're gonna just make shit up on the fly. I have never painted this bait, and it's gonna be really interesting to see how it turns out. Okay, airbrush is clean. Let's just clean this shit up as well. Yeah, so the largemouth bass is ready to be clear coated tomorrow, because I actually want my paints to dry for like a day or so, maybe 2. But yeah, let's just maybe, yeah. You see, and that black wash, the reason why we did it in the beginning is because those scales, they just show so nicely. Okay, so I think it's gonna be, let me just pull up a stencil, like a guide. Okay, I have this paint that I bought for this exact occasion, for rainbow trouts. This is green and golden. It's gonna be interesting. This is like a really solid paint. You see? So it's called like treasure gold or something like that, but it's just so ridiculously. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, I love painting this largemouth bass, and actually stripers eat it pretty well out here in Lake Lanier. So I need to get ready for the season. Okay, so this treasure chest is gonna be like the middle color, because rainbow trouts have this lighter middle. This is gonna be like face. Okay, let's just see what we can do. Okay, this is a cool base color. Yeah, I really like that color. Okay, face is done. Let's see the middle side. Oh shit. I need to move this back, otherwise I will spray the shit out of these baits. Okay. Okay, cool little greenish, goldenish color. Okay, that's basically what we needed out of that color. Because now we will darken it up with English ivy green. and then really darken it up with some black on the top. Not straight black, I don't want to go as deep as with the largemouth bass. Sounds like Darth Vader is here. Man, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm right next to our AC, so that could be one thing. But I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I actually have like 2 Star Wars tattoos on my shoulders. The old school emblem of the rebellion and the empire from like the... Oh yeah, when I'm using the air... Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so English ivy green. That's gonna be our next color. Oh, I see. Also, my my compressor is like trying to be muted because it was previously up here, but for these live purposes I covered it and I tried to mute it because it was really noisy. Like obviously when I'm out here and painting, I'm watching a series, watching Netflix, watching Hulu, watching whatever. But you see, this is a pretty nice rainbow trout green. And we need to use this judiciously. We need to put like a line here and then mostly on the top. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. 50 cents. That's it. You see, like what I'm trying to achieve is a really light middle. Just a really thin darker line here and then blast it on the top. So yeah. Oh yeah, it lasts crazy long, like most of these paints. Also, if you have most of these paints, I had this for years, but if you guys ever want to use acrylic paints to paint, then please don't use folk art. That's, I mean, not bad, just not for airbrushing. And what will be your enemy is folk art extreme glitter. Like, let me tell you, this guns up the air. Oh yeah, and all the neon colors. This guns up the airbrush crazy fast. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the tail. That would have been a huge mess up. Okay. I agree, rainbow trouts are so cool, but the other reason why I wanted to make a trout bait is because I actually have to disagree, and I think brook trouts are one of the nicest looking fish out there. They are just extremely gorgeous. Okay, so now we have to decide on the face color, and I think this one. Yeah, I think this one. Again, just trust the process. But yeah, rainbow trouts are so gorgeous. I'm lucky in that sense because I live in Georgia, but like North Georgia, so I have access to good trout. Just the other day, like last weekend, I went out trout fishing and I caught the trifecta. From a tiny little stream, I caught a rainbow trout, I caught a brook trout, and I caught a wild brown trout. I only caught 3 fish, but that was the trifecta. Okay, so I think one of the main reasons where people mess up painting rainbow trouts, because I know that there are a lot of trout baits out there, but I think one of the main reasons where people really mess it up is everyone uses purple for the middle. Now ask yourself, when was the last time that you saw purple on a rainbow trout? That's not fucking purple. That's not purple. Like, look at this. Is that purple? Is any of this purple? This is not fucking purple. If you go out catching rainbow trout, that's not purple. That's this color. Canary Kerper. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. Obviously, I'm just talking out of my ass because once like people go to Florida and start catching peacock bass, now those are one of the coolest looking fish in the world. And also just the little critters there, they are so amazing looking. But also then someone could come in the chat and say, yeah, I go deep sea fishing, and then, or you know, just like saltwater fishing, and then I start chewing my hands off because that's the coolest thing in the world. Like, okay, people can talk about catching a 10-pound bass, but catching a marlin, man, that would be the rush. Okay, face. Now, we want to do a little bit of face with this color. Oh shit. Now this is where my airbrush shouldn't start spitting shit. Because I need to be delicate, firm but deliberate here. Like, this is where I need good airbrush control. Okay. You see? That's a rainbow trout pattern. And now we wouldn't want to start from here, but actually the stripe starts kind of here. Yeah. Liberal rainbow trout. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm not throwing those back. Okay, let's just see. Because we need to line this up. We need to line this up nice. Okay, it's sort of going... Okay, let's just... For a sec... paint it like this. Because I really want to line this up perfectly. Okay. So that's lined up good. Now let's do the face for the other side and just let this one dry. Yeah, steelhead fishing, don't get me started on that. There's so many things on my bucket list. Okay, and then let's just pray that everything has already dried. Yeah, but I think so. Oh shit. Okay, and line it up. Don't start with me. Okay. Yeah, and now we need to correct for these. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Just to fade it away. Yeah, I mean, folk art is a pain in the ass sometimes, but there are some metallic colors that are just magical, and I have to use that. So let's do the corrector. And now comes the fun part that everyone came here for, which is watching me put 100 bajillion dots by hand on this bait, because that's what's coming. Oh no, we need some black on this, on the back, just a tiny bit, not a lot. Just we want to pull in the shade and pull everything together nicely. So yeah. Chris, where are you from? Are you from Florida? Luckily we don't need to clean the airbrush that well now, because we are going with black. Again, just a tiny spot. Texas. Yeah, that's nice. Shit. I keep hitting this. Okay. That's awesome. I mean, Texas fishing is on another level. So we are just pulling everything together with the black. We are just giving the bait a little bit of dimension. Yeah. You see? Doesn't it look nicer with a little bit of black on top? And I shouldn't forget to do the other bait as well, where I fucked up the paint because this got messed up. Okay, let me try to not grab it, because on top of this I will spray straight polyacrylic. But as you can see, the paint got messed up there. So let's just make that disappear. Okay, that disappeared. And we also have to East Coast, yeah, for sure. East Coast is fun. Okay, so this is the end of the end of the airbrushing, and now comes some hand painting. And I think that I need to pull up a chair for that, because that's ridiculously taxing. So just give me a sec. Yeah. So, black bass is done. We are good with that. Here's the body. And finally the tail. And now we're gonna go in and start dotting. Okay, how do I do this? The camera is in the way, everything is in the way. I usually do this in the kitchen counter. So, I have these nice helping hands. And let's try to grab the bait. Hey Gilly, how are you doing? So, let's just try to grab the bait. Perfect. Okay, now we have this nice little tool here. Let me just find out what dotting size we need. We might go tiny. Alright, let's go tiny first. Oh yeah, smallmouth are super fun. Okay, let's just try the small one. Does that look correct? I think so. And just add the bajillion dots. Yeah, now I have time to chat about anything because this will last a fucking lifetime. And the dots are getting sparser and sparser at the bottom. Maybe. Yeah, let's just... Unfortunately, you cannot really rush this. Hi, Jake. Unfortunately, you cannot rush this because then your dots will start to be more messed up, and unfortunately, that's really noticeable. When your dots are not actually dots. And also the randomness. We have to keep up the chaos. That's the main hard thing about this. But we need to keep it even, but at the same time, it needs to be random. Yeah, it takes a ton of time. The the hard thing is going from segment to segment and keeping the number and the density of these dots consistent. Now I will have to make eyes that are spotty as well. Okay, let's see. At the top it's actually a bit more densely dotted. So I have to keep that in mind. Fuck, you guys don't see shit about this. Let's see how I can solve that problem. Well, first of all, if I drop this bait now, then I will start scratching my eyes out. Okay, maybe like this. Yeah, mate, you should really learn how to fish. That's one of the most relaxing things in the world. And almost. Okay, there's 2 dots. Okay, I will just keep this in my hand. But Jesus Christ, this scared the shit out of me. Yeah, that is true. It's relaxing. Also, it teaches you discipline. It teaches you to be just quiet. There's no electronics, there's no nothing, there's no problems. Like, especially if you're not fishing top water, if you're fishing like Ned rigs or Texas rigs or whatever, that level of concentration, just feeling that little tug, that relaxes me more than anything in the world. Yeah, that's true. I mean, sometimes I do use live baits. Okay, now it's coming together. Let's see. Try not to drop this shit. Okay. We are back in business. I mean, with top water, the thing is that it's such a visual thing. I'm not talking about fly fishing, because obviously there you have to concentrate a lot. I'm talking solely about like whopper ploppers or something like that. You're gonna call me that? Yeah, understandable. Okay. Now this is a bit too vibrant right now, the black, and overwhelming, but when it dries more matte. It's a good arm workout, that's for sure. Yeah, but this is relaxing as well. It's basically like fishing. It's just concentrating on each and every dot. I have to see the dots that are messed up and go back and fix them. Okay. The head is done, and now comes the tricky part when I try not to drop it. Here's my insurance pin. Yeah, you see? Like, it's much more matte than this side. So now, midsection. Okay. This is gonna be a bitch and a half. Because unfortunately I cannot drop it. So it's 2 times freehanding. Did I make? Yeah. These are all my baits. I made them myself. I make every bait myself. This is resin cast, but I have a bunch of wooden glides and I don't know, mostly wooden resin. So yeah, I mean, nobody else really does this. And let me clarify, I'm not talking about bait making. I'm talking about this level of realism. Like, there are a lot of realistic paint patterns, but in shape, like, these are the most realistic bass and trout patterns on the market. Oh shit, my left hand is shaking. Why the fuck is it shaking? Okay. Do I have videos? No. I mean, not on these. It would be really hard to do videos on these because these take months to make. But I have other videos about bait making, about making wooden baits and whatnot. Like, I'm currently working on a really big muskie. This is gonna be a musky swim bait. And now, other side. Ah, shit. What the heck are we listening to? Okay, much better. Luckily, I managed to find a Spotify channel that streams royalty-free music. Because before then, I had to be quiet, or like be in quiet on lives. But now, I can freely stream decent music. If you guys want to check it out, it's literally called royalty-free music for YouTube streaming or some shit like that. Yeah. This is not ideal, like holding the bait in one hand. But what can you do? Okay, the body is done, and now let's go for the tail. Where do I put this? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, I know. It's really messed up that I can just listen to anything. Like, this is not the kind of music that I usually listen to. It's pretty decent, but Metallica would be blasting here. But I would be royally fucked and banned. Luckily the dotting. Make a grabber like a ice cream. Yeah, that's good. I mean, this is really not optimized yet. Unfortunately, I don't really have a good light source out here. I'm in my garage and I only had one overhead light. So that's why I needed to put a ring light over here. And that limits where I can put the camera. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna have to do that. I just like to present this like really POV style. And we are done with the dotting. So, let's just quickly try to see how this looks like. I don't know whether we're gonna be able to put everything side by side, but we should be able to. So yeah, this was the head. Like, you see the facial details and everything. This is why I'm saying that I can't really make a video about making this, because this takes a crazy long time. But let me just try to... Yeah. This is how the bait looks like more naturally. Yeah, no sir, he is called Nemo. Okay, let's get back the light. So, we are actually done with the baits that we wanted to paint for today. So just as a quick recap, let's just put everything up here. On 1 and 2. So we did the largemouth bass. And the largemouth bass, that's actually dried. That can be put side by side. So that looks like this. Now, as a reference, you know, this is like 8.5 inches like this, and it will have a soft plastic tail. So that's done. And the second bait was Nemo. Who Unfortunately, the paint still haven't quite dried yet. I can't just... Where is the body? Here's the body. Like, let's see whether I can show it to you guys. Fuck off. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Now, okay. Let's put these up. Like, I think on the next live we're gonna paint the exact same thing. I mean Nemo, but we're gonna paint brook trout or brown trout pattern. Thanks, man. Thanks, Splurge. It was really cool to have you guys here. So yeah, I'm gonna log off and thank you guys for joining me. I might come live tomorrow as well to paint another one of these trout baits because I just love these so much and I need some variety. But cheerio and thanks